So you must think that why short-term rental is so popular for the end users. The people who book you, the guest who books you, why do they choose your properties? Why do they choose short-term rental over hotels, B&Bs and guest house? So guys, if you're new to this channel, my name is Piers. We're currently working in over 21 Airbnb accounts. We've helped over 1,400 properties all over the world. And right now we're working in US, UK, Dubai, Spain, Australia market. And look, I want to talk to you about why the end user or understanding the end user is so important. Because look, there is a reason why they choose, and you also need to understand what the data is driving right now to be able for you to invest in those specific area. Hopefully one day actually creating a sustainable business, understanding your end user. Now, firstly, did you know that over 60% of leisure clients prefer both Airbnb as well as hotel? But did you also know that over 68% of business travelers only prefer hotels over Airbnb purely of the bad experience they've had from one of the hosts they've effectively worked with? You know, it could be they've stayed in a place before and something went wrong, the host didn't deal with it right, and all of a sudden they do not want to go to another Airbnb anymore. So interesting data out there for you guys to think and understand. Leisure guest, business guest. Also, there's another market that hasn't been touched based a lot, but in the UK right now is heavy, which is people who are relocating for months and months, and people like contractors who like to stay on a service accommodation on an Airbnb property for X amount of time while they're working on a project, and they absolutely prefer them to have it on an Airbnb rather than a hotel. So I'm going to talk about 5 reasons which I know because of the accounts that we're working with, the clients that obviously the messages that we've dealt with. We know exactly why clients are booking my property and my guests and my client's property as a result of that, understanding their guests' behaviors. So firstly, it has all gone for value for money. People who book Airbnb and short-term rental, they're always looking for value for money, especially for people, they need a 2-bed apartment. If you're going in a hotel, you've got to book 2 rooms. If it's a nice looking hotel, all of a sudden you're spending about £200, £100 each on a room. You get the same quality of apartments, high level apartments, for about 120 to 150, depending on the amount of nights you book with us or depending on the location. Now, all of a sudden, it's amazing value for money for our leisure guests or even business travelers, depending on what and how they want to book. But that is one of the reasons why they come and stay with you. The second reason from a leisure guest perspective, if you're in a holiday rental area, people want to feel like local. That was why Airbnb was born, right? You go into a local area, live like a local, doesn't matter 1, 2, 3 or even a month, and actually feel like local. Now, one of the things actually we've seen in the UK market, we've also seen in Australia and Dubai, is people who are relocating to a specific location. And what they do is before they complete their house purchase, they actually come in a month before, staying there, being a local, understanding the market, understanding what's there, shops, schools and everything. And then when they go and move into a property, they are so much ready for that local area. So the second reason people book you as an Airbnb is to feel like local. Now also quickly, a lot of people have realized that Airbnb is ran by independent owners, right? Mostly 90% of them are ran by people like us who own our or rent to service accommodation or rent to those property into Airbnb properties, right? So what they've quickly realized is they're supporting local businesses. So rather than going into a hotel worth, they've spent millions and millions pounds, they like to make sure they support local people. And as a result of that, they're contributing to the local business in the local area, and it also makes them feel really good. Another thing we quickly found was, especially around long-term guests, is they find flexibility around short-term rental property owners, which means, I've had many instances when people have relocated from Hong Kong and they want to stay for 2 months, but because they were finding a permanent location while they were staying with me, all of a sudden they have to extend it for a week. They might have to actually not stay there for the whole 2 months, and they might have to decrease their stay for a month and a half. all of this is a much more flexible opportunity because they are directly with the owner of the property. Whereas if you're doing that on a hotel, the likely chances are you've lost their money, they've lost their money, and as a result of that, they prefer the flexibility around Airbnb. And the last one, we all know that we are bound to have great spaces in our property, right? So people or the guests, they love the kitchen setup. They can see that, they can use it. People also love the lounge area. Apart from bedrooms, they know they've got a space they can go chill, relax. So that is why people prefer getting Airbnb, because of the space you have in your properties. So now, let me make you think about this, right? Who do you want to work with? Is it leisure guest who wants to book you for a night to a week? Or is it business traveler who have had a lot of unsuccessful stays with Airbnb hosts previously, and as a result of that, they've lost trust? Do you want to tap into the newer market that we in Airbnb, as well as all our clients we focus on, is looking at those long-term guests to make you profits at the end of the month, and not focusing too much on those nightly rates, not focusing on those too much on the management of check-ins and check-out, but really focusing on people who wants to stay with you long term. Now, you might be in a location, by the way, which really is going to attract you nightly to a 7-night stay. It's fair, but making sure that you understand your guest your users, your end users, and what they want from you is very much important. So guys, thank you so much for watching another Grow Your B&B video. I've actually done a lot of video recently about how to do, Airbnb accounts, all these little trainings. We don't offer mentorship, we don't offer courses. So look, all I can give you is my conversations with clients, how we've been consulting them grow their brand, but I also work with them very closely. Like at the moment, we're working with somebody trying to find them how they can make sure their VA performs into the highest level as possible. Now look, that is not my job, that is not my team job, but we've ended up doing that for them purely because we know that just that little extra help for our client, they will really enjoy running the short-term rental business. Please make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and I'll be back with another video soon.